Looking at several emails here from the host with the most, Todd Newton Morning Show family, saying how much you love Invader Coffee. You heard about it here on the show, and I'm thrilled that you're loving it. It truly is a stellar top-of-the-mountain cup of coffee. I make it every day here. As I tell you, I make it every day here at the house before the radio show. Currently, I'm doing the tiramisu. It's delicious. I also love the Mexican chocolate blend, the Nectar of the Gods. Coming up on Halloween here, you can pre-order the pumpkin pecan. Delicious. And Invader Coffee is made right here in the USA, veteran owned. It doesn't get any better than that. You can taste that veteran pride in each and every cup. If you subscribe to Invader Coffee, you'll save a few bucks and you'll never run low. Come on. If you love your coffee, if you take pride in what you do each and every day and you want to start off on the right foot, a good cup of coffee is the way to go. And Invader Coffee is the best. I'm telling you, it's the best. Order Invader Coffee today at toddnewtononline.com. You'll see the Invader Coffee logo. Click on it. You're good to go. They've also got really cool t-shirts and coffee mugs that you can get for yourself or give as gifts. Go to toddnewtononline.com and click on the Invader Coffee logo. Come on, let's have a cup together. Invader Coffee, available now at toddnewtononline.com.
Welcome to the Todd Newton Morning Show podcast, featuring weekly highlights from the most talked about show on the FM dial. Now, with the talk that will keep you talking, here's Todd Newton and Maria Todd.
Maria and I are very, very proud to say that we are involved in loving, communicative relationships with our significant others. We never argue, we never fight, we talk freely and openly about everything that is important in a relationship. Isn't that right, Maria Todd?
Absolutely.
Again, if you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with BS. But this morning we stumbled across this survey that says 10% of couples have considered splitting up over this one, let's call it a relationship hurdle. And Maria, what I would like to do with you is give you, let's put this in multiple choice. Everybody enjoys multiple choice. Let me throw this at you, multiple choice, and you tell me as a strong, open, honest, authentic member of a powerful couple, you and Al, let's see if you can get this one, okay? Do 10% of couples argue weekly, at least twice a week, over let me mix these up really well here, over an in-law, B, snoring, or C, excessive spending while shopping? So is it an in-law, is it a snoring thing, or is it one of the two spending too much money on something stupid like shoes? Or
No. You can cut a credit card. It's the snoring.
You're 100% right. It is the snoring. It is.
Okay, and the sad part in our relationship, I'm the snorer.
You know what? I am too. I snore too. But here's the thing. First of all, Marky and I use that white noise. We have a white noise thing, which I really like. You know, it's very subtle. I don't need the tropical rainforest, or I don't need the bubbling brook or the stream. I just want steady white noise, like a fan or an air conditioner type noise. That's what so that helps a lot. And Marky just wears earplugs, like the little, you get them from Walgreens, you know, the little, and she shoves them in her, and I don't know. I mean, it saves our relationship, but
Al will not try any of that. I'm still getting nudged in the back. Turn over, you're snoring. Turn over, you're snoring.
It only happens to me when I fall asleep on my back. And I only fall asleep on my back if we're watching TV and she leaves the TV on. If she would turn the show off at the proper time and I could just roll over and go to bed, there'd be no snoring. But if she makes me watch these shows for too long, I fall asleep and I start snoring.
Oh, yeah, it's her fault. It's all her fault.
Well, I'm trying to spin it that way. You
can't cut the TV off?
Oh, no. No, I don't have. If you look at my nightstand and you look at her nightstand, she has the remote for the bed, you know, because the new bed has the where you can raise it.
Yeah, that goes up and down.
She has that remote. She is in complete control of that. And she also has the remote to the TV. That's it. I've just got the cat and the dog on my side. That's all I've got. But yeah, twice a week, the average couple fights over snoring twice a week. And more than 20% of us lose 2 hours of sleep every night because of the noise. I get it. And do you know why so many fights stem from this? Because you're tired and cranky. You're not, if it were just an in-law and you're getting 8 or 9 hours of sleep, you could talk about it rationally. But if you're tired and all cranky because you haven't gotten any sleep, that's going to make things worse. I bet you people have divorced over snoring, for sure.
Oh, I believe it. Like I said, I've gotten the punch in the gut in the back many a time. Turn over, you're snoring. Turn over, you're snoring.
But he does it with
not
love.
a problem when I was single. Just snored till the cows came home. I used to sleep with my eyes open, too.
Swiping right on great conversation. It's the Todd Newton Morning Show with Maria Todd.
Maria, there are certain phrases that I vow publicly never to use. And one of them, a couple of them. Number one, I never use the term wifey. I never call Marky wifey. And I have asked her respectfully to never refer to me as the hubs or hubby or anything that you might hear on any reality show ever. I don't want to be referred to.
Would you rather she call you daddy?
Depends on what kind of night we're having. But no one, surprisingly, has ever referred to you as my work spouse. Have you heard that phrase, work spouse?
No.
Okay, work spouse refers to somebody that you are super close to of the opposite sex just during work hours. Somebody that you have lunch with or that you gossip with. Maybe you've both worked at this place for a really long time. You're super close it's like the person you look forward to seeing. And a lot of times it's purely innocent. It's just somebody you enjoy working with. And they start out innocently. Like I said, sharing inside jokes or maybe commiserating, complaining about the boss. You talk to your work spouse about things that your real life spouse just wouldn't understand or care about. Like what's going on in the office, your husband or wife isn't there, so it doesn't affect them the way it affects you. And
let's face it, a lot of times your spouse is not interested in what's going on at your work.
True. And
they don't want you to come home and tell them about Bob in accounting. That's
right, because they got their own thing going on, truthfully. And ideally, everybody would be able to leave the work stuff at the office. I know that that's not always realistic, but that would be the dream scenario. But sometimes this whole work spouse thing goes too far. And the question is here, how do you know if you've gone too far with your work spouse? How do you know if you've crossed that line and the work spouse situation is becoming something more emotional? God forbid, something physical. Well, if you've got a work spouse and you're hiding any aspect of your relationship with the work spouse from your real partner, then you know you got a problem and you're walking on thin ice. And let's face it, you know when things are going into an uncomfortable area, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try and deny it, but you know.
When you start talking about your spouse to your work spouse, that's when you've gone too far.
True. And if you're meeting, how would you feel about Al? If Al said he was meeting after work with this woman that he's worked with for a long time, and it's not work related, they're just going out for drinks, that would be a no-no, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. That's a date.
You're right. You're right. I don't care if you work with this person. That is a date.
That's a date. And when you get married, you need to stop dating.
And here's the big one. By the way, you see, that is why Maria Todd is the queen of the radio. Relationship advice like that. Once you get married, you're supposed to stop dating, says Maria Todd. She's absolutely right.
Just stop dating.
And this is when you really know if your work spouse situation is going too far. If you start complaining about your real spouse, then you're crossing the line. So if you've got yourself a work spouse, be very, very careful, because crossing that line is easier than you may think.
Thank you for being part of the conversation. Subscribe now so you never miss a beat. For more Todd and Maria, visit ToddNewtonMorningShow.com. The Todd Newton Morning Show podcast. Great talk that will keep you talking. Produced by the host with the most, LLC. All rights reserved.